Hey guys, Harry Thomas here, and as 2018 draws to a close, it is that time of year to reflect on the 2018 movies, and I begin with my top 10 best list of 2018, the positive list first. I do have some controversial picks on my top 10 best list picks that don't follow the general consensus for that movie, but that's just my honest thoughts. So if you, and I can't wait to hear your top 10 best list in the comments section below. But first, here are my honourable mentions, movies that nearly made the list. First Man. While this movie was initially my favourite of 2018, I have changed my mind on it as the tone was a little upsetting for me, dealing with Neil Armstrong and his wife's personal life, but nonetheless it's still a remarkable dramatisation of Apollo 11. I love dogs. And finally, The Spy Who Dumped Me. So without further ado, if you want to know my top 10 best movies of 2018, then just keep watching. At number 10. Shh. If the monsters outside hear me, I'm freaking screwed. A Quiet Place. While A Quiet Place may not be a horror movie released around Halloween time, it still turned out a masterpiece. And Emily Blunt here, this is her better role for 2018. Far better than Mary Poppins Returns, and I love the decision to shoot this movie with a lack of dialogue. This movie is truly a masterclass in suspense and in making you feel uncomfortable throughout, and that's how a horror movie should be. It should raise your adrenaline. At number 9, yes, another horror movie, Halloween 2018. Why is it not titled Halloween Part 2, as it's a sequel? You may get this one confused with the original, but still, whether I'm in the minority or not, this is a sequel that it surpasses even the original. 14 years later, this was the Halloween sequel that the fan base was dreaming of. Just get out of here, other sequels. You don't exist anymore after this movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, she is better than ever as Laurie Strode, losing none of her mojo, reprising her role as the badass heroine. And I love that this movie focuses on how Michael Myers, how he just traumatized her for life, and how that led to her tense relationship with her daughter and granddaughter, and the three women coming together to finally solve the problem of Michael Myers. At number 8, Venom. Call me a idiot who has no taste in movies, but I say Venom is a stronger film than Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This was the first of the two Sony Redemption movies after the Emoji Movie and the Amazing Spider-Man duology. Sure, Venom would have benefited from an R and 18 rating, but that 12A and PG rating was still hardcore. This movie was still brutal and badass, and so I don't mind. And and Venom to me is even more of a game changer than Into the Spider-Verse, as it's a Spider-Man movie in the universe with no Spider-Man in it whatsoever. That was a bold move, and yeah, Tom Hardy, first he was Bane, and now Venom. Yep, just cast Tom Hardy as every comic book villain ever, and we'll be satisfied, especially the moment where Eddie Brock just munches on the lobster. And I don't get how Peter Rabbit has a higher Rotten Tomatoes rating than this Raz movie. At number 7, I certainly feel pretty confident to put this movie on my top 10 best list. Screw Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, WTF critics for giving this movie just a 34%, and Emma Holmes and Rachel Wanger are with me that I feel pretty deserves infinitely more love. Don't the critics know a golden comedy masterpiece when they see one? Yeah, I feel pretty is the kind of movie that we need more of. Amy Schumer delivers one of the most heartwarming and greatest performances of 2018 in general as our lead heroine. Yeah, she goes on a journey where she feels like she isn't good enough. She needs to be perfect to achieve her goals. But she realizes by the movie's conclusion that she already is perfect, and she shouldn't let anybody tell her otherwise. We need more role models like her. At number 6, Black Panther. Not only is T'Challa the king of Wakanda, he is now the king of the MCU itself. Black Panther is a revolutionary movie in terms of race equality and gender equality, especially in the world of superhero movies. This movie deserves the Oscar buzz that it's getting. Finally, a comic book movie that is receiving important Academy Award nominations. I love how T'Challa grew to be a more worthy king than his father, and I adored every single one of the female characters in this movie, from his wife to his sister Shuri, who's similar to Q from James Bond, to his mother, and Killmonger being the second best MCU movie villain, second only to Thanos, and the movie itself may be Marvel's version of The Lion King narrative-wise, but it was executed phenomenally. Okay, now we've reached the top 5. At number 5, Incredibles 2. This was well worth the 14-year and 1 extra month for me wait, as I was forced to wait until July to see this movie, but more than worth it. Incredibles 2 is incredibly satisfying and incredible sequel to one of Pixar's classics, even more incredible than its predecessor to me. I've heard people complain that this was an underwhelming sequel. I've even seen videos on YouTube why Incredibles 2 is a bad sequel. Why? I'm like, Brad Bird took his time and didn't rush this movie, and you're complaining? This sequel to me delivered a better opening scene, a better villain, gave each of the family something to do, not just Bob, and fingers crossed Brad Bird won't take another 14 years to make Incredibles 3. At number 4, oh man, Oceans fans of the original trilogy, please don't label me as a traitor just for putting Oceans 8 as my 4th favourite movie of 2018. People hated this movie just because they were bitching about, oh, we don't want women taking over an all-male-led franchise and blah, blah, blah. Well, I say screw the sexist haters. Ocean's 8 is better than the entire original Ocean's trilogy, certainly more so than Ocean's 12, which sucks. This franchise worked better for me with an all-female cast. Sandra Bullock and Kate Blanchett, they give some of the most astonishingly awesome performances of this entire year, especially Sandra Bullock as Danny Ocean's sister, Debbie Ocean. So this movie does still tie into the original movies, and it honors them. And the final scene with Debbie going up to Danny's grave will truly bring a tear to your eye. I'm proud to be one of the few male critics on YouTube to absolutely adore and defend this underrated masterpiece. At number 3, A Star Is Born, not the Hercules song sung by the Muses, even though that would have been freaking awesome. A Star Is Born, yes, Bradley Cooper's directorial debut, and Rocket the Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy, man can he direct great movies, as shown here. For his directorial debut, he directed a beautiful work of movie arts. That's what this movie is. This is the greatest version of the story A Star Is Born, better than the Judy Garland version for me. This was such a wonderful love story with a heart-wrenching yet at the same time fulfilling ending, and Lady Gaga, at a girl, you can act as well as sing. At number 2, Aquaman. DCU fans, we can finally sit back and celebrate. Aquaman is the second DCU movie, the first being Wonder Woman, to not be hated on. This is one freaking epic gem in the superhero genre as a whole. Jason Momoa and Amber Heard just totally killed it here. They both shall receive Harry Award nominations, especially Amber Heard. Her character Mera, I love her more than any other movie character this year, and I would love a solo movie that's just focused on her. This movie has the most gorgeous visuals in a movie in general of 2018. So if DC just hires a combination of Patty Jenkins and James Wong, Justice League Part 2 and 3 will be on freaking fire. And my number 1 favourite movie of 2018 is, am I alone here? Does somebody also have this pick as their number 1? Let me know. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, the movie which critics called the worst Harry Potter movie, but I 100% beg to differ. This is the best Harry Potter movie ever for my personal taste. This movie is a truly fantastic sequel to the first fantastic Harry Potter prequel. It has balls. J.K. Rowling wrote this one darker than any of the Harry Potter movies that came before it. And I don't get the hate at all for the plot twists of this movie. They were shockingly good from J.K. Rowling. She is a gifted storyteller. She was born to tell great stories. And this is Johnny Depp's best ever role as Grindelwald. He gives one of the finest performances of 2018 period. He should play villains more often. The opening sequence and third act of this movie are some of my personal favourite movie moments of all time. I couldn't be more proud to put it as my #1 best movie of 2018. Man, this list is vastly different to other top 10 lists I've seen, but that's a good thing. Everybody views movies differently. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. And what are your top 10 favourite movies of 2018? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google+ and on Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I post my top 10 worst movies of 2018. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.